Heyo everybody, welcome to the episode. Hope you're having a really special day. You may be wondering why we're singing. Well, today is a musical episode. That's why we've got Tom Armstrong on the show.
Hey.
And he does all of the musicals.
Musicals.
There's six shows, 6 songs in our... Well, lots of music, but 6 comedy songs. 1 comedy song per episode. The first episode song is the cult one about everything's a drum. And the second one, I can't remember. We did a reorder in the edit.
It's Morning Brown.
That was originally the 3rd episode. And the 3rd episode is sports now. So that would be the one where Broden's talking about organ donors. And we say the libelous things about our friend Spanny. And then... after that is episode 4.
Maybe leave all of this, Zach, for another time.
I just think it's important for everyone's memories to be jogged.
We don't need... I've seen the episode so many fucking times. I know what songs are in the show, but I don't need a song to let me know.
Hey, he knows what songs are in the show, but he doesn't need a song to let him know.
He said
He knows what songs are in the show, but he doesn't need a song to let him know.
Now, without further ado, it's time to introduce to you the man who's in charge of all the songs. He does them all on a computer. Please welcome, he's big and he's long. Please welcome Tom Armstrong.
Hey, Tom Armstrong is coming in. About to talk now after that introduction. Tom Armstrong is a cool guy. But here's my concern. As Broden introduces Tom and we bring him on as a guest. I feel really sad because we're doing this on Zoom and that sort of split-second delay makes musical comedy very difficult.
It's not true, Zach, it's not true. Zach, it's not true. Zach, it can still be good. You just gotta believe in yourself, Zach. You just gotta believe in yourself. Now let's get to the guest. His name is Tom. Yeah, he's really strong because his name is Armstrong and he does the music for Aunty, Donna, and I love him so much. Take it away, Broden.
Tom Armstrong is got strong arms, but even though I literally took his weights, I went to his house and took his dumbbell, so now he doesn't have any strong arms.
But there's many kinds of strength, you see. There's strength of the body, but strength of the heart. Tom, what he has is strength of the mind. His arms are strong because they hold his fingers. Those fingers do some tapping on a laptop. And then that laptop makes musical gold because a laptop can be an instrument in the modern world. You can use computers. Songs are no longer but sometimes they're a beep boop pop, a beep, a boop, a beep boop pop.
Crohn's, Crohn's.
Tom has a very debilitating illness. It's very sad and very full on. It's an autoimmune disease that we shouldn't joke about, but it's part of Tom's coping mechanism.
Can I just go back for 1 second and talk about how strong arms hold fingers? Strong arms hold fingers.
Strong. I'm harmonising. I know it's hard with the split second.
Strong arms. Strong arms hold fingers.
Tom Armstrong, go.
G'day, cunts. My name is Tom.
Oh, you don't have to sing.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
You know, I tried.
It was just good to just have a chat now.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was a
guys.
bad choice, Tom.
I feel like it's my birthday. You know,
Is it your birthday?
Happy birthday is sung to me.
No, his birthday's November 4.
4th.
First.
Good. That's
First. Oh, that's the
Very
easiest to remember. How do I not remember that?
Your birthday's January 2nd.
No, but close.
First.
No.
17th.
Wait, what did Tom
January
say?
5th.
6th.
No, Zach got it
5th.
right.
5th.
It's the same as my dad's or my grandma. I have
Zach
a
is
family member
December
with a birthday around there.
13th.
You're dead to me, cunt.
No, 14th.
15th.
Ah, fuck.
15th. We're all
Which I wonder if this is coming out around there. No, these aren't coming out.
It's Zach's birthday episode. It's Zach's special birthday edition.
Well, because now we've all got Sam's locked into our brain because the day the show comes
What's
out.
yours though, Mark? You didn't tell you, Mark. Just January
He's
5th,
been very mysterious.
I did. No, I
about
said
his
Zach got it
birth.
right.
which is
The 5th. Of
I
January.
got it right on first go.
No, you said second.
No, go back and listen to it.
27th, Brendan.
Yes.
Rodents is the 27th of January.
Fuck,
I was
that's
going to
good.
say 26th.
That's Australia Day. I used to get that
always think it's
messed
the
up.
26th.
Yeah.
Every year
Me
I think
too.
it's the 26th.
I don't celebrate on the 26th because I don't. I'm not a supportive of Australia Day as the day that it was colonised by European settlers. But also, I wait to celebrate for my birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the day
Birthday's
that
the
it's
next
actually on. That makes a lot of sense.
Every year on Braden's birthday, he goes to the big day out. Sees his favourite bands.
That's true. Every year I go. I'll go see your Limp Bizkits. I'll go see your System of a Down.
Who's headlining this year?
Slipknots. We've got Lily Allen
Wow.
and we've got
Yeah.
Mastodon.
She's great. I saw Lily Allen before she really blew up in the tent, one of the smaller stages. And I went and saw her during the day, and she was such a good live performer. So I'm really excited to see her on the main stage.
She got married to a guy recently.
Yeah, she got
That was
married to
me.
the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
And they're kind of the
Stranger
same
Things.
vibe.
Yeah,
they're
the,
kind of the same ilk.
Hopper.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Really?
if you were to be like, that guy, Lily Allen, they're kind of in the same... I was like, that makes sense.
Don't
And he's
do
going
this
to be in
yet.
the
Don't
Black
do this
Widow
yet.
film, isn't he?
Pardon?
Yes, yes, they shot that years ago.
Yeah,
Much
that's
like
what I was thinking.
the slight delays that were put into the post production of our sketch comedy program for the Netflix show. That their release was pushed back years.
What movie?
No, like a full year.
Black,
Black
Widow.
Widow.
Oh, Black Widow. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hopper's playing Black Widow's dad.
No, maybe, but I know what he does play. I don't know if this character is Black Widow's dad, but he plays the Russian version of Captain America. So Russia tried to make a Captain America, and they failed, and what you got was Hopper from Stranger Things.
You got a little. It's the same, but he's got a little shriveled dick.
Yes, it's the same, but his dick is tiny, 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 small.
We were talking about what's his name's dick now, because how he accidentally
Hopper.
showed everyone his dick.
Hopper.
Hopper from Lily Allen.
No, because does he show his dick as well? Have we seen both
And he-
Captain America and Captain Russia's dicks at
Yes.
this point?
Yes.
Amazing.
He's also played Hellboy.
Oh, yeah.
A fun fact: when he played Hellboy, he learned all of his lines all by himself. He
Wow.
remembered them. Someone else wrote them down, and he remembered.
I joined Gold's Gym when I lived in Los Angeles when I was making
Alright,
my
Arnie
Netflix show.
shorts.
Wow, yeah, all right, Arnold. All right.
Yeah, it was too expensive, but it was incredible. Like they had smoothies in there and stuff. You could go get a smoothie while you were working out. Anyway, I saw Ron Perlman in there one day.
Wow.
Wow.
Tom.
So Tom,
He played
what
Hellboy.
was your favourite song to make? Because sometimes, like our favourite songs, it's about what's funniest, but maybe for you, it's more of a musical journey. So could you
what
talk
was
a
the
little bit about
bangiest?
that?
Can
Way
I-
to put me on the spot.
Do you want to talk about your traumatic experience or not?
Yeah, let's talk about
So-
that. I think that's very interesting, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom's got a shriveled up dick.
So what happened?
Yeah,
was he
so
shriveled
Captain
up the-
America made a Captain America, and then Australia wanted to compete, and they made Tom. His dick's real small now.
And what happened was he was on Insta, he started an Insta, and he accidentally shared a screenshot of photos, including a pic of his dick. And everyone was like, it's like a walnut.
I'm sorry I started this. Tom, let's talk about your real trauma.
Yeah, so long story short, so we had So
No,
obviously,
long story long, Tom.
Long story long. So-
long.
Yeah, make it long.
we
You got
had
like 15
pre-recorded.
minutes, man.
We had pre-recorded all the songs for the show, so we went to the studio before we shot in post-production and sort of laid everything down and sort of had them in a pretty good place. And then I was going on a holiday around America over our Christmas break. You know, some people went home, some people
With your
stayed in Los
fiancé.
Angeles. With my fiance, I should say, yeah. And this was so silly, but the morning we were going to leave, I was trying to back up everything onto my hard drive. All the work we had done, and it wasn't working. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just take my backup hard drive with me on our road trip. And sure enough, when we got to San Francisco, we were staying in this like really dodgy hotel because like my fiance had never booked like accommodation in America or whatever. So we were just in a very dodgy part of San Francisco and in a really cheap hotel. And she didn't want to leave her our bags in the hotel, so we were carrying them around with us everywhere. And sure enough, when we went to see Star Wars, actually, the really awful Star Wars.
That would have been.
And that was the tragedy.
And that was the tragedy. But when we were on the way home, and like we take our bags, like our full suitcases, into the movies and stuff because we're paranoid about getting robbed. Because the thing is, if you've never been to San Francisco, there's signs everywhere saying, "Oi, you will get robbed." Like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like there's signs everywhere. So yeah, so we were coming home from the movies and we thought we'd stop for a slice of pizza, and we literally went in for 2 minutes, came back out, windows on the rented car were smashed, laptop was gone, passport's gone, my fiance's brand new camera and all that sort of shit. And at first I was like, no big deal, it's just money, whatever. And then I realized, no, my laptop's in there and my backup drive, because you didn't do that fucking backup before you left, Tom. So you thought you'd take the fucking backup drive with you. So every copy of all the songs for the show that I'd done were gone.
And
Which
and so this was after filming and everything.
This is after we'd
as well.
filmed it, so we'd already, synced it. So luckily for me, for whatever reason, I was smart enough to back up online the demo versions of the songs and all the vocals, because obviously when I went to the studio, I was like, well, there's a good chance I could lose these audio, the vocal takes, so I'll upload them to the cloud as well. Obviously, since then, I now have 8 copies of everything backed up, including 2 different cloud versions. But lesson learned, I just didn't think, you never think it will happen to you. So it was interesting. So then I had to reverse engineer all the songs. So I went and listened to all the vocal takes and tried to match them up to the takes that we had shot to, and then rebuilt the tracks around the vocals completely from scratch, which was like a blessing and a curse at the same time, because like I was in a very bad place after all that shit went down, and I really didn't want to be making music at all, because I just was very, very sad for a couple of months. But at the same time, like, none of the tracks were finished, so I really wanted to go through and like make all the songs better. And sometimes when you just start from a clean slate, it is a good place to start rather than trying to improve something that is already 80% there. Sometimes it's better to just throw it out and start again. And I was forced to do that on all the tracks, and I think it was actually beneficial.
Well, like I remember one of my memories from that, from all of that when it happened, which was very sad, and we haven't even started talking about Star Wars, so I can't even imagine the state you're already in
For Star Wars, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the true.
That would've
it's not
just-
the. I'm just trying to like make some jokes for the audience.
Yeah,
I know.
no,
Obviously, Tom.
Haven't spoken
This is
about
much
that.
more serious than Star Wars.
We were like editing. We're in the edit suite in Hollywood, California, and we'd been cutting, the first episode to that old demo, to the demo that we sync to of Everything's a Drum. And when you've heard something over and over again, we'd listen to that song fucking 25 times, like just watching the edit, going over it over and over and over it. And we're like, you get into your head, oh, that's what it sounds like, that's what it is. And then one day Tom was like, okay, I've uploaded the new track, the one that he's reverse engineered and had to build from scratch again. And I remember all of us hearing that new version of it, and all our jaws just like dropping and just being like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, how can it... I didn't realize it could sound so much better. I didn't realize there could be so much more work to do, because in my head it was like, that was the version, you know what I mean?
And I think that's a trap anyone in any art can get into at any point. But it's like one particularly, I think, with music, like write the drum beat and you choose the samples or whatever, and you're like, that's what it is now. But like, it's always good to be going back and trying stuff and changing it, because that's where you can find some real improvement, I think.
Yeah, there's an element, isn't there, of like, that's a great little point about creativity, and then we can make jokes in a minute, but it's like there's a real element with that, like of that sometimes it's okay. This is a different point, but like sometimes it's okay. Sometimes you have to get rid of the germ that started. Like you might have something and the reason you created it becomes no longer relevant, like the drum beat or the thing. And it's like, that's a great lesson in like you can start from scratch with the new thing and let go of how you built it. Like, because for a first time listener, it's very interesting. I bet you wouldn't do it again for that.
No. No, but like even just like in a practical sense, like think about it, like it is like an artist with a blank page. Like when I open up a session that I've already worked on, there's layers of shit there. You know what I mean? Like there's choices being made. There's compressions and effects and ways that I've done stuff, and that can be a weight on you to creativity just because of the workload you've already put in. So just by deleting everything, like there's merit to that for sure. Yeah, obviously, like, you know, it's not ideal circumstances, but
I mean, you could have gone and watched Little Women, for God's sake.
I know, right? Instead of bloody Star Wars.
Yeah, trying to bring it back up.
But yeah, I think like in the end, like coming back to that original question of like which ones did I really enjoy? I think like all 6, I had different journeys with all of them, but I think like I come to love them all for their own unique ways in the end. I think there's no 2 out of those 6 songs that are similar. Like they're all unique and interesting in their own way. But I feel like the first day we riffed on Morning Brown, it was perfect. Like,
yeah,
like in the office, like a year before. Whereas like, and I was always just like had supreme confidence that it was perfect from day one. I think the beat was pretty much the same as it was day one, just a bit like more fine-tuned. Whereas other songs, you know, took a long journey and were more difficult to find and whatnot. But I got love for all them babies.
No, I definitely think Morning Brown is one of my personal favourite sketches in the whole series, let alone one of the best songs, because I love the way it sounds. And it was one of those ones, very similar to Bikey Wars, where it was like kind of the first draft of it was kind of what it ended up being, just with a little bit of polish, but not much more.
I think we trimmed it down and it broke my heart. Like I know it's necessary, but I just like I think like the live version we did was like 6 minutes.
Yeah, we did. We did have to cut. We cut it.
Yeah.
We cut a fair bit out of it.
It's a great. I mean, I think it could sustain that length live because you can go down that path, but it's a different beast.
We were doing the joke as well of something being funny and then not being funny and then coming back.
Coming back to it.
And I feel like this was a banked podcast. You know, we recorded this, I think, about 5 weeks before the show came out. But can we just sort of do a structured conversation that the audience can kind of fill in? For like they'll just fill in the gaps, you know. But this sort of conversation that would happen if we didn't pre-record this. So I'll demonstrate, and then we can kind of go from there. Now, what really surprised me, Tom, is how much X song really cut through with the audience. I know of the 6, I had my favourites, but song X.
You were quite doubtful of X.
I did. I had, well, Tom in particular. Yeah, you had a lot of doubts about song X.
I think both of you did. Remember, Zach, you said if this goes well, I'll give Broden 20 grand.
Yeah. I did say that,
and now it's the most successul one.
Now it's losing really my religion. It
really cut through. Someone's been watching Song Exploder. I've got a really good. I don't want to give anything away, but I've got a really good Song Exploder sketch that I want to run, and I think you guys are going to have a great time. But that's for another time.
We should do a podcast. We should do a whole Song Exploder.
Podcast. I've got a great idea for a Song Exploder parody. And having said that, you've all thought of the same idea as me now, I'm sure. But it's great, and it's going to be awesome. But Tom, so song X, what about it cut through, do you think? Why do you think it cut through?
Well, I think song X is funny.
Yeah.
It is. At its core, it is funny.
Yeah.
I think Song X has a fucking bangers beat to it, cunt.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think most of the tracks I ended up slipping
don't
dope
call me
beats
a
in.
cunt.
Hey, shut up, cunt.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I managed to slip banging beats into all the tracks just about in the end.
But I think we can agree that Song X has a little something that we didn't see 10 weeks ago.
Did you expect
know?
Song X to get X amount of views on X platform?
Well, I always believed in it.
Yeah.
I think in America at the moment with President X now in power for 4 years, I think it's saying something.
I think there are
and
pros
I
and
think
cons to President X.
Well, I think the X part of the country, the X part of the country really needs a laugh. And the
and with COVID numbers being
X.
at X now in Victoria, which allows us to do X, it's quite an impact, really.
I have to say,
huge.
it's really good to be doing this podcast, either the old-fashioned way in person or via Zoom from our homes.
And
I have to say,
And since the show's release and COVID numbers, I feel X, and my life has gotten X.
can I ask you, all of you really, all three of you, do you think that? Well, I would love to know what you thought it was going to do, like what level, like how the show would cut through, and how do you feel about X amount of viewers and X amount of impact that it's clearly had?
I need to know what the X's are, to be honest, to answer that. It's very
Well, for
difficult
me,
to answer, because if the
personally-
numbers were low, then I would, as
Or
opposed
you
to
can just
high.
replace your emotion with X there, Mark.
Right, okay, I
So
feel
you
X.
could go, yeah. You can say, I feel X, or, I feel very X, but the more I think about it, actually, I feel X.
My reaction, I can definitely tell you what my reaction was. X.
And this is going to be simple for you in the future because all you'll need to do is just chuck in the slightest bit of data at the
Yes,
start.
yes.
And then it'll fill itself out. The algorithm will fill out the rest.
And let me say, much like the Netflix algorithm really X'd us. We really got...
Yeah, we got X. We got X by the
we were
Netflix
really
algorithm.
X'd. We were really X'd by the Netflix algorithm, and our show did very, very X.
Oh, it's scary, isn't it?
It's scary.
You're talking about skeleton people?
Nah, I'm talking about the ball of nerves in me tummy.
I know, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about
days.
whether or not we'll get a season X.
Yeah, true.
I would be 2. You don't need to do an X then, Mark.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Unless,
Mark's wants to
unless
skip
at this
season
point
2,
we
remember?
found out we're getting a season 2 and 3 and 4, and he's saying, I hope after we do all those seasons...
I think it's fair to say 2 there. Really, like, if we're going to start chucking X's out everywhere, then what is it? What are we, Xander Cage, Vin Diesel? Come on, guys.
Thank you for your opinion, X. I would like to hear what X's
Brogan.
opinion is on this.
My opinion is that... firstly, I just want to say thank you so much for the X you got me X days ago for my birthday. I really loved X, and I didn't even know I wanted an X, so it was very thoughtful. And I can't wait for Xmas.
Oh, Chris.
In 10
Very
days.
good.
Thank you so much. What are you guys going to do for Xmas? Are you going to do X because of the X level of lockdown?
I feel like this bit is terminal now. I
Yeah.
feel like we're feeling the last death throes.
Come on, we can find it.
Come on, I've got one. For Christmas, depending on what we're allowed to do, I'll probably see my ex.
That's pretty good. Works on 2 levels.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, is he? Oh my God. Yeah, Mark, you broke up with X amount of time ago?